14 minutes before the top of the hour, Monday, February 23rd, it is the Bill Press Show. And we remember him well from the 2008 presidential contest. Among Republican candidates, he stood out because a true fiscal conservative from Texas, Congressman Ron Paul. Hey, Congressman, how are you?
Good, thank you, Bill. Good to be with you.
Good to have you here again. And I want to start, before we get into the banks and the stimulus package and all that economic stuff, I attended the White House briefing Friday, Congressman, and there was a lot of news last week, and the reporters asked questions about every issue you can imagine, but there was not one single question about Afghanistan.
Oh, and trying to repeat history once again and show that Afghanistan, the people of Afghanistan don't want foreign occupiers. Some people claim it's getting pipelines, oil pipelines and gas pipelines through that country, and some people think...
People, I just think, they think of Afghanistan as the good war, right? Iraq was the bad war, but Afghanistan's...
war. They realize it's not going to be quick, but they're willing to accept this idea that they have to be there. And it's interesting that the NATO was willing to send in troops over there where they weren't willing to go into Iraq. And I've never gotten an adequate answer for that, but the best one I heard was, well, it was like NATO was... getting to the point where they thought they were non-essential and they had to be a participant. I wanted to say the other day that they were going to get ready to bring their troops home.
Yeah, they're bringing their troops home. A lot of talk these days, Congressman, about possible nationalization of the banks. And Chris Dodd the other day said he doesn't like it, but he thinks it's necessary in the short run. So is Alan Greenspan. What's your take?
Nationalized because... You know, the banks are sort of partners with government. They exist because of licensing, and they get guarantees of all their insurance, and they get to create the credit. You know, fractional reserve banking is a method where the banks get the pyramid debt and create money. The Fed starts it off with the high-powered stuff, but then the banks pyramid new money. So they've been very much involved, but they've been allowed to keep their profits. This is a little bit of that. They're being nationalizing the losses is what they're getting ready to do. They're trying to find more victims, and therefore they're using that term nationalization. But you can have socialism and nationalism without total ownership. And that lends itself toward more like a fascist state where, you know, even their early history under Hitler, the corporations were willing to become partners with government. I never liked this term partnership of business and government. It just scares the daylights out of me, and a lot of them are talking about it. And I think the best thing is to let the companies and the banks go bankrupt, and it is rough, but to destroy the currency, and we've destroyed the financial system. I mean, the financial system doesn't work. The dollar reserve standard has not spend money. You want people to, live within their means. This whole idea that, the Keynesian view is that you need more spending, but how could we have had more spending in the last 10 years? That's all the consumers were doing. They were told spend, 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 spend. So that theory, I think, has been blown. I mean, if we couldn't prevent the recession, depression, how is it going to get you out of it by getting consumers to spend money? And that's what they're doing on these bailouts, is to make sure your house mortgages, your value doesn't go down so you can keep borrowing, keep spending. I don't think it can work.
Yeah, it does seem at some point we're going to run out of money, but I don't know.
Well, we're not going to run out of money. What we're going to run out is value. Social Security recipients are always going to get their checks. The big question is, will the money be able to keep their standard of living going?
Is it worth anything?
Big brother is watching.